some things that have not aged very well about this game. And I'm not talking about the graphics, so they haven't aged the best, but they still look pretty decent for a 10-year-old game. But there are some things that have not aged very well, especially with the way they treat women in this game. There is a lot of messed up shit with that. If you do an intergender match, I swear that when you win, you kiss the girl. Which I think is just, stupid. Because I played a few. I did one with Rey Mysterio and Beth Phoenix and Karma and Cody Rhodes and stuff like that. And I swear that they kiss. And then I beat the crap out of Brodus Clay in a match. Because I wanted to beat him up because, he's not the best person in real life. And in his entrance, because I watched it, I remember this team briefly, but I don't remember it being this sexual, but apparently it was. Cameron and Naomi's entrance to the ring. And then they did them dirty without even adding them in the game. This roster was very small for women, so why couldn't they have added 2 more? Then, what else? Oh yeah, there was a disgusting sign that I saw all the time in the crowd. I saw it like 3 or 4 times, where this sign says "Free the puppies," which is clearly a reference to, telling a girl to take her shirt off and show her boobs. And then the fact that not a single woman in the game is considered better than any men in the roster. No disrespect to Heath Slater. I really like him. He's on my like videos. And I think he's a very talented guy, but he did not do that much in WWE. Yet he is an 82, and Beth Phoenix is a 78. You're telling me that Heath Slater is more talented than Beth Phoenix by these ratings. By the way you treated Heath Slater and the company, I don't believe you. And then there is only 2 matches in Attitude Era mode with women, which, you can't go back in time and give women better matches, long-running matches, good rivalries. We all know they didn't get that good shit in Attitude Era. But they only give them 2 matches, which I, can't change that. But the only 2 matches, they give you the easiest shit. Throughout Attitude Era mode, like, there's 6 or 7 chapters. There's only 2 women out of the entire thing. But throughout the chapters, there's hard objectives, like, you gotta put them through a table, you gotta hit them a certain amount of times, you gotta beat them in 4 minutes, you gotta beat them with this certain move, you gotta make them tap out even though you don't have a submission finisher. But with the women, they're just like, well, hit your finisher and pin them in 10 seconds. That's all you need. And then there's one where, it just says simply don't get hit by a finisher and then pin them. Those are your 2 objectives. Don't get hit by a finisher and pin the person. Okay. But I think it's seriously ridiculous that not one woman is tough in this game, tougher than men. Trish Stratus is the only one that comes close. Well, she is an 80, and the weakest men character in the game is an 81. I think it's stupid. And it's an incredibly small roster, too. There's only the Bella Twins, Alicia Fox, Karma, Beth Phoenix, Lita again, and Trish Stratus, and then Eve and Kelly Kelly. And then they threw in a few DLC women, and that was it. And then for some reason, when I was making some tag teams, the tag teams that used to be tag teams, that aren't tag teams now, like Legacy and Nexus and stuff like that, they had the Ascension as a team name, but the Ascension wasn't DLC or in the game, so I thought that was weird. Now that we're done with all the problematic stuff, let's talk about the actual good stuff. This is my first old WWE game that I've played. because the oldest before this one was 2K15. And there's a lot of old match types. I knew there was old match types in the game, but I've never obviously played them before. The Inferno match was decent. I didn't play it all that much. Played it once or twice. The backstage brawls are really fun. You can do one-on-one. You can do a fatal four-way. You can do 3. You can do team-ups in backstage brawls. I really miss that. I think that should be in the new games. It's a very fun thing to do. There's a bunch of cool interactables. You can throw them into a water thing and then spear them into it. Not really spear them, but you get what I'm saying. Throw them into a soda machine, slam their heads on stuff, slam their head on the wall, hit them in the head with the hood of the car. There's just so much stuff to do backstage, and it's really fun. I Quit matches, I've done several of them, and they were really fun. Championship Scramble was a pretty fun match too. I did several of those just to win championships, because it's a really fun thing to do. Royal Rumbles were pretty fun too. I like the way they're set up. It's just really fun, the way you can see them walking down to the ring, see some of them running. It's very fun. There's a 40-man Royal Rumble in this one. It was pretty fun to play. Special guest referee was a very fun match. I've screwed people over with the screw job thing. I've done fast counts. I've done slow counts. There's just a lot of fun shit about this game, but like I said, the way they treat women in this is just ridiculous. Attitude Era mode was very fun. I earned a lot of championships and characters, but unfortunately, unlike the new games with Showcase mode, they don't tell you what ones that you have to go back and do. Because sometimes I'll get bored of having to do the objectives when I'm starting to get used to a new game. So I'll just beat the match and then I'll go and play it later to earn the titles and stuff. Well, unfortunately for this one, they don't do that. They just say it's completed. If you beat it, it's bright yellow words complete. It doesn't tell you if you have to replay it to get Undertaker skin or the Intercontinental Classic title, so I think that was stupid. And I thought it was also weird that there was like 2 matches where you fight someone that is not even in the match, and then that's how you unlock them. Because in off-script Attitude Era chapter, I earned John Cena 2004, who was not even present. Then I earned regular JBL, who wasn't even present either. Then there's this non-titled tag team match where I fought these 2 other guys. I don't remember who. But then I won the Light Heavyweight World Championship. Just a very odd game with some of its decisions. But yeah, it's a very fun. But like I said, I don't like how they treated women in it. Besides that, very fun game. So far, I've only made one custom, and it was Bobby Lashley, and I gave him the Hurt Lock and the Spear. Then I gave him a military press slam as his signature. And then something else, because I couldn't find the Dominator. It's probably under a different name if it is in the game. And I made it so he could dive out the ring too. And so that one match with the Umaga, it's a diving body press, I think is what it's called. Oh, speaking of the creation suit, I did not like how you couldn't see the moves or the taunts or anything like that, because they have a character set up that looks nothing like your character. He's white and in underwear. And obviously I made Bobby Lashley, who's black. And they had a character in the creation suit, but he was just there to sit there. It doesn't show any of the moves you assign to your character, because obviously I gave Bobby a custom moveset. It doesn't show any of the taunts, so I just had to hope they were good. And luckily for me, his moveset that I made was just fine, and his taunts were decent. But at least it had up taunts on like 2K15 and 2K16, which for some reason didn't have it even though they were newer games. And this does have custom title things, but I have not figured out how to make them yet. And there is Create a Story, but I have not played it yet, or I would have talked about it. But yeah, that is about it for this game.